Encouraged by his unwavering support, Betty resolved to confide in her teacher the next day. However, when she mustered the courage to approach Mrs. Matthews, her hopes for a compassionate response were met with dismissal. "I'm sure they were just joking," Mrs. Matthews replied curtly, brushing aside Betty's pain as if it were merely a phase of childhood folly. Heartbroken, Betty felt her resolve falter. Yet help was not far away. While hiding in a corner, nursing her wounds, she encountered Mrs. Evans, the school counselor, who exuded genuine warmth and concern. Betty poured out her heart, recounting the torment and the incident with Robinson. Mrs. Evans listened intently, her expression growing serious with the gravity of Betty's revelations. "Betty, you do not deserve this treatment. No one does," she said firmly, her compassion igniting a flicker of hope within Betty's heart. Encouraged by Mrs. Evans's dedication, Betty began to learn about resilience, not just through her father's stories of struggle, but through her own experiences. Discovering her family's history of overcoming adversity became a powerful revelation. It dawned on her that she too possessed a strength that could not be snuffed out by the cruel words of others. No longer would she see herself merely as a victim, rather she would fight back, not with fists but through education and self-advocacy. With newfound determination, Betty resolved to rise above the torment and reclaim her narrative, transforming her pain into a catalyst for change not just for herself, but for others who felt powerless. The air in the schoolyard crackled with tension as Betty prepared for her ultimate confrontation with Robinson. Armed with the unwavering support of her friends and the guidance of Mrs. Evans, Betty had finally found her voice. The moment came during a heated recess when Robinson, emboldened by the laughter of his followers, attempted to belittle her once more. "What are you doing here, mechanic's daughter? You think you can ever fit in with us?" he sneered, his eyes glinting with malice. But this time the words stung differently. They ignited a fire within her, a fire fueled by countless days of silent suffering and a burning desire to reclaim her dignity. Taking a deep breath, she stepped forward, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "I am not ashamed of who I am or where I come from," she declared. "I have more strength in my little finger than you'll ever know. You might have power over these halls, but your bullying doesn't define me." The shocked silence that fell over the group was palpable. Robinson's smug expression faltered as he registered the strength in Betty's gaze, realizing he was no longer facing a frightened girl. He was up against a force bridled by resilience and the backing of a supportive community. For the first time, Betty felt the weight of socio-economic disparities in their stark reality. Robinson's wealth and privilege had shielded him from the consequences of his actions, while she bore the brunt of his cruelty simply due to her background. But the scales were shifting. Betty's words resonated not just with her immediate circle, but began to ripple outward among their classmates, awakening a sense of solidarity against the perpetrator of their collective fears. In the days that followed, the tide began to turn. Inspired by Betty's bold stand, her classmates rallied behind her, forming an alliance that fundamentally shifted the atmosphere at Crestwood High. No longer willing to witness the cruelty, they united against bullying, organizing a series of awareness campaigns that brought the issue to the forefront of school discussions. Every day, more students joined their cause, challenging the toxic dynamics that had long been tolerated. The administration, initially indifferent, could no longer turn a blind eye to the rising tide of activism brewing within their halls. The collective voice of the students, led by Betty's courage, demanded change, and for the first time the faculty began to take concrete steps towards addressing the bullying issue comprehensively. As the school year progressed, Betty discovered not just a newfound confidence, but a circle of friends who shared her struggles and ambitions. The laughter that echoed through the hallways transformed from mockery to encouragement, and the once lonely girl found her tribe. She realized that she was not alone in her journey. Together, they had forged a support system built on mutual respect and understanding. With newfound friendships came opportunities to explore her passions, both academically and personally, as she encouraged her peers to join her in various activities that fostered creativity and resilience. In this journey of transformation, Betty emerged not just as a survivor but as a beacon of hope and strength for others. Her experience culminated in a powerful lesson about the importance of standing against bullying, not just for oneself but for those too afraid to speak. The once timid girl had blossomed into an advocate, inspiring a culture where it was not only okay to stand out, but celebrated. As she reflected on her journey, she understood that while the battle against bullying was ongoing, every voice raised against injustice mattered. Betty's story serves as a call to action for all. Speak out against bullying, support each other in moments of despair, and together we can create a community where everyone is empowered to thrive without fear.